Okay. Let's start the session. So this is our first class of the CAIIB batch in the ABM. This is our first class. So today we are going to discuss that what is advanced bank management syllabus, and we are going to start with the basic thing of the economics module of your ABM subject. So first of all, good evening to all of you. How are you all? So audio video okay to both all of you now. So let's start the session. So this is our first class regarding the advanced bank management, and in this particular session what we are going to do, actually we are not going to start with the syllabus immediately. First we will understand that how much score you need to qualify this particular exam, and what is required, what is the passing criteria of the exam, what is the pattern of the exam, what type of questions can be asked, and what is your syllabus. Okay, so first of all, if we talk about the ABM subject, so first let's understand what is the exam dates and all, the general introduction of the exam. Let's have a certain exams introduction. So first of all, you all know that the registration of CAIIB already started. Okay, we all know that the registration of the CAIIB started. So your exam on 27th of November, you will have your advanced bank management paper. On 4th of December, you are going to have your bank and financial management paper, and on 10th of December you are going to have your elected paper, that you have to decide that which particular subject you want to go with. Is it a rural, retail, human resource management, IT, risk management, or central banking? So whatever particular subject you want to go, you can choose here, and maximum candidate go with the first priority of retail banking. Because why retail banking? Because retail banking is what you guys are actually performing in the bank. What you are doing, you are providing services to the individual customer. Now, so what is retail banking? Retail banking is simply a type of banking in which all the banking product and services will be provided to the individual customer. Like you are accepting CASA, current and savings, you are accepting RAFA, recurring and fixed, you are providing loan to the customer, you are providing locker facility, etc., etc. So all these services when you are providing to the individual customer, that is your retail banking. And the second priority was given by the credit candidates, can be a rural or it can be your HRM. Okay, so you have to decide that in which particular subject you are good for that. According to that, you have to select the subjects. Okay, so this is your registration. Registration already started. These are the registration dates which I have given by the IIBF. Now let's go with the passing criteria. Now what is the passing criteria? So first of all, if you are giving an individual exam now, if you are giving an individual exam, in that situation what happens, in the individual paper you have to score 50 out of 100. Okay, how much you have to score? You have to score 50 out of 100 in the individual subject. Okay, now second thing, if you are giving an overall paper of CAIIB, then you need at least 45 marks in each subject. Also with that, aggregate 50% of total marks should be there. Aggregate 50% of total marks should be there in all subjects of examination in a single attempt with or be declared as completed the examination. Now, you understand this thing very easily. Like if you are giving a single subject, if you are giving a paper of single subject, let's say for example, you have given the CAIIB exam in the May 2022 and you are going to give in the December 2022, sorry, the November 2022. In that situation, you have faced that you clear the ABM in the first attempt, now you are going for the only BFM. In that situation, you have to score 50 out of 100. Okay, this is first condition. The second is if you are giving a single attempt, if you are giving a single attempt of CAIIB, okay, it means all the three subjects. All the three subjects you are giving together. In this situation, at least 45 marks, minimum 45 marks should be obtained in each subject. How much marks? The 45 marks should be attempt or should be achieved in a particular individual subject. That is the minimum requirement. That's the minimum requirement of your subject. Okay. Now the second minimum is 50% amount, 50% marks should be get in the total. The total marks should be minimum 50%, that will be 150 marks. You should score total 150 marks of all the three subjects, because we know all the three subjects, each subject is of 100 marks here. Okay, each subject is of 100 marks here, and you have to score 50%, at least 50%, minimum 50% you have to achieve here. So that's why you need 150 marks to score in the particular single attempt of the exam. So this is the passing criteria for in single subject. You have to qualify 50 marks out of 100, and for the single attempt you are giving all the three exams together, all the three subjects together, then this is your criteria. Okay, then this is your criteria. Clear? Now, next, what is the pattern of examination? So, there will be handed objective questions, there will be handed marks. That 1 marks, 1 question will be available there. Okay, handed questions will be there and handed marks will be there in the exam of your particular subjects. Okay. Apart from that, there is no negative marking. Now, do remember from the next attempt, that is a May 2023 attempt, there will be a negative marking. The pattern is going to be changed. The subjects is going to be changed. So, do make sure you qualify your exam in this particular attempt only. And we are really here to help you all to qualify this exam. Because don't take a risk, don't risk your attempt in such a kind of laziness that we will do that, we will start preparing after 1 month or after Diwali or after certain time of period, we will start preparing. Don't do certain kind of mistake, because from the May 2023, everything is going to be changed. Negative marking will be introduced. So it's better for all of us that we qualify the exam in this attempt only. So there will be no negative marking for wrong answers. Okay, and next thing is, generally 60 to 65% will be theory based question and 35 to 40% will be case study, problem solving, analytical and logical exposition. Let's say if I talk about the module A only now. So module A includes your economics. Okay, it includes your economics. And in economics, you have to cover the theoretical part as well as numerical part. It means the questions from budget and GDP can be asked. That can be your, what we can say, numerical questions. Okay, you have to perform the numerical questions in the economics, module A of ABM. So this is what we are talking about, that 60 to 65% syllabus will be theoretical and 35 to 40% syllabus will be your case study and problem solving questions. So this was the pattern of qualifying the exam, and this was the pattern, this was the important dates for your exam. So let's start with the next module of advanced bank management. So I am going to deal with the module A, that is related to your economics. Okay, I am going to deal with the module A, that is your economics. Right? Now, what is the syllabus of economics? Let's see that. So first we have to cover the economic analysis, the fundamental of economics, the scarcity and efficiency, the microeconomics and macroeconomics in brief, the types of economies, the market command and mixed economy, macroeconomics, the business cycle, money and banking, unemployment and inflation, interest rate determination, and various types of interest rate. What else? Various types of interest rate we have to cover in this particular subject. Okay, that's the module A. Now, apart from that, Indian economy, overview of Indian economy, including the recent reforms, interaction between the fiscal, monetary and exchange rate policies. This is what we have to cover. Okay, this is what we have to cover. Everything we have to cover here is, this is what. Now, the financial market. Achha, if we talk about like the fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is created by Government of India. What is fiscal policy? Simply your budget. Whatever income and expenditures, expectations or estimations has been done by the government, that is your fiscal policy. And monetary policy created by the RBI, you all have heard about right now, that RBI has given the next review, the latest review of monetary policy, in which again RBI increased the policy rates, and that's a very big issue for the country. I think you all have heard about one more information, that is World Bank has said that in 2023 we are going to face the biggest global recession, and the reason behind this, World Bank has given that all the countries central bank are rising their policy rates. Why? Because there is inflation in the country. Because of the inflation in the country, all the central banks in their monetary policies are rising their policy rates. What will happen if they are rising policy rates? So World Bank is saying, if the banks are rising their policy rates, it makes the loan costlier. It makes the loan costlier. Okay, it will make your loan costlier. That's very simple. That if you start increasing the policy rates, the loan becomes costlier. When the loan will be costlier, the people will start investing less amount of money. So investment is going to be decreased, or investment is going to be fall, because you have to take loan for the investment, and loans are very costly. So people will start taking doing less investment. And this is the corporates which will start reducing their investment. What happened with the individual? Their expenditure capacity, the expenditure capacity of people or individual is going to be reduced. The expenditure capacity of individual is going to be reduced. Why it is going to be reduced? Very obvious, because the loans are costlier. Let's say, for example, I wanted to build my own house from the Diwali. I have taken a particular target that I will have I will develop my house, I will build my house before the Diwali. I want to do so. But when I went to the bank and I asked about the loan, so bank has said that right now the home loan is at the rate for example 13.5%, and I'm thinking about, yeah, uh, if I talk about the last 6 months, so that the rate of interest was only the 8%, but now it is 13.5%. So I will think twice now before taking loan from the bank. So this is what we are saying, that the expenditure capacity of people will reduce because loans become costlier. Now what happened when the people are not investing, companies are not investing, the demand of the goods and services will reduce. When there is no demand, you will reduce your production also. When your production is reducing, it means your GDP is reducing, gross domestic product. What is gross domestic product? The money value of all goods and services which is produced within the geographical boundary of a country. So within the geographical boundary of a country, whatever goods and services has been produced in 1 year, that is known as your GDP. Okay, and this can be produced by the Indian or it can be produced by the foreigner. But what you have to remember here, the production should be done within the geographical boundary of a country. Right? This is your GDP. So when the production decreases, your GDP decreases. And when the GDP decreases, your economic growth decreases. Now, these situations lead the economy to the recession. These all situations lead the economy to the recession situation, and that's what the World Bank has said, that just because to control inflation, policy rates are raised by all the central banks of different nations, and that's going to make the world's biggest recession in the year 2023. Clear? Let me know this concept is clear to everyone. Let me know, is it clear to everyone? That how the policy rate rising by the central banks is going to impact the recession, or the global economy will face recession just because the banks are rising their policy rate. Clear to all? Answer quickly. Achha, do make sure you stay active in the session. It is very important, because the module we are going to cover, that is economics. Economics is not a kind of subject which you can mug up. You have to have a clear understanding of all the topics of economics. Until and unless you don't have the understanding of the concept, you will not be able to perform your numerical questions, or you will not be able to answer the questions. So do make sure you are having understanding of the topic. Kindly explain one more. Just once again, please repeat. Okay, let's just start. So what I am saying, whenever banks, the central banks, the RBI or any other central bank of the country, they increases their policy rates, na? So they make the loan costlier, because let's say for example RBI has given the loan to the banks at 5.4% rate. Earlier what used to happen, before the September, RBI was giving loan to the commercial bank at 5.4% interest. Now RBI is giving loan to the commercial bank at 5.9%. So one bank was taking loan of 5.4%, banks were giving loan to the customer at 6% interest rate. Okay, this is what RBI given to commercial banks. Okay, RBI given to commercial bank. Now banks were taking loan from RBI at 5.4% earlier. So banks used to give, this commercial banks used to give loan to the public at the rate of 6%. When the repo rate was 5.5, the lending rate of commercial banks was 6%. But the repo rate is 5.9%, so banks are giving loan to the public at 6.2% rate. Now the 0.2% interest has been increased. When I went to the taking, when I'm going to bank to take a loan, I will see that the policy rates or the interest rate is high. So I will not take loan. I will not take loan from the bank, because I know I have to pay more interest, and that will be, inflation is also rising now, so there is a risk I will be able to repay this loan or not. So I am not taking loan from the bank. So if I used to take, if let's say, if I have taken loan from the bank, I would have purchased a certain asset, I would have started construction of my home. So that is going to increase the employment in the country, that is going to increase the investment in the country. But because of the loans become costly, I have not taken the loan. In that situation, my expenditure capacity reduced. So whatever employment I was going to create, that was not created because the loan becomes costlier. So the expenditure capacity reduced, the demand of the goods and services will reduce, and the production will be reduced, the GDP will be reduced, and the economic growth will be reduced. Okay. Now what is GDP? GDP is simply the money value of all final goods and services which is produced within the geographical boundary of a country, whether it is produced by the Indian or whether it is produced by the foreigner. Let's say in India, there is no condition that there is only Indian companies in our country. No, we have foreign companies also. So whenever the production in a boundary, you have to remember what? You have to remember this geographical boundary. Okay, you have to remember this particular geographical boundary. So when you are talking about that in geographical boundary, country is having production, that will be known as your GDP. That will be known as your GDP. Okay. Now clear, let me know, I have repeated the concept, now is it clear? Now all these kind of situation can create the recession in the economy. Now clear, who was talking about Vikrant and Vipin? Okay, clear, right. Now, how to control without sacrificing the GDP? That's a very good question. But for that, we have to understand the different general terms of the inflation. I will explain you here, but there will be a certain person who will not be able to understand. Let's say we know whenever inflation is there now, so this is obvious that you have to increase the policy rate because this will reduce the money supply from the market. But you have to decide that how much policy rate should be increased that it will not impact the demand of goods and services. So this is the balance which RBI has to maintain. This is the balance which RBI has to maintain. But right now, whatever situation we are facing in the country now, so RBI has to increase the policy rate. And that's definitely going to have a negative impact of the GDP. So RBI has till now not find out that how to make it sure that we are able to increase the growth also and we are able to decrease the policy rates also. This has not been decided by the RBI yet or not. RBI has not given us the statement that how RBI is going to control it. Okay, so the answer of your Nitin, the answer of your question will be na easily understandable when we will completed the monetary policy and inflation chapter. Because right now, if I explain the concept now, the many candidate will be there who will not be able to understand the concept. So I will take your question when we have completed the monetary policy and inflation chapter. It's simply the changes of the monetary policy rates is the answer actually, but we have an indirect or indirect instrument and we have a qualitative and quantitative measures. By reading all these by reading all these tools, we will be able to understand the answer of your question. Okay, now let's move to the next thing. This is your syllabus and let's go with the globalization is there, then the challenges ahead, banking and finance, current issues we have to study. Like the recent current issues we have discussed that World Bank said the globally biggest economy recession will be going to seen in the 2023. Apart from that, we have to cover the financial markets also like money market, capital market, forex market. So what is financial market? Financial market is simply a place where the persons who have surplus money and the persons who have deficit money, they exchange their funds. So when they exchange their fund, that is known as your financial market. So we have money market for short term period, we have capital market for long term period. Okay. And next thing, we have foreign exchange market, that is a forex market. Apart from that, there is a equity market also. But equity market somehow is a part of the capital market. Equity market. We have a debt market. So debt market, equity market is a part of your capital market only. Right? Next. So let's understand the first unit which we are going to discuss in the economics. So first we have to understand the economic analysis, the fundamental of economics, scarcity and efficiency, microeconomics, macroeconomics in brief, the types of economics. So all these are the introduction of economics. These chapters are certain introduction of economics. Apart from that, in the other chapter, that is your sectors of economy, na, that is also your syllabus of the First, introduction of economics. Acha, if I talk about introduction of economics, let's discuss the certain thing, that is, there are two terms. One is economy and second is economics. So in today's session, we are not going to mug up the definitions and all. The economics is simply a syllabus or a subject which you have to understand by the concepts. So in today's session, what we are going to do, we are going to understand that what is the actual economics is. We are going to have the understanding of the topic, the certain introduction of the economics. Okay. And from tomorrow onwards, we will start with the definitions and all, etc. Okay. So there are two terms, that is economy and economics. Now do let me know, is these terms are same or different? Are these terms same or different? Is it same or different? Let me know economy and economics. Okay, maximum are going that it is different. Okay. So what is the difference between economy and economics? What is the difference between economy and economics? Okay. If you don't know, acha, if you don't know the answer of any particular question, just write don't know, so that we will discuss the topic and we will move forward. We do not have to waste the time. So first of all, if we talk about the economy and economics, so we have heard the word economics everywhere. And we have heard this subject, it as a subject. Economics, we have heard always as a subject. Okay, so what is economics? Economics is a subject. So if it is a subject, we are studying something in the particular subject. So when we study the economy, that is economics. So the study of economy is your economics. Right? Study of economy is your economics. Now, why we need to study the economy? What is actually the economy and why we need to study the economy? So, if I talk about the economy, it is a system. Economy is a system where we are producing goods and services, where we are doing production, we are doing distribution, right? We are doing consumption, and the exchange of goods and services. The exchange of goods and services. Right? This is economy. So what is economy? Economy is a system in which production, distribution, exchange and consumption will be done under the system. That is your economy. And when we study this system, that how we are producing, how we are distributing, what is we are consuming and how we are exchanging goods and services. When we study this system, that will be known as economics. Clear? But why we need to study this system? Why there is a need to study this system? The reason is because we have scarce resources. We have scarce resources. We have very limited resources. But when it comes to the needs and wants, we have unlimited needs and wants. We have unlimited needs and wants. Okay, so there are very limited resources, but there are unlimited needs and wants. Now, how to fulfill this limited resources, how to use this limited resources so that we will be able to fulfill the needs of unlimited needs and wants of the people. So what we have to do, first of all, we have to find a certain way so that we will be able to do the allocation of these resources and somehow that it can fulfill the need and want of the persons, that is unlimited. So we have to have a certain type of method, we have to have a certain allocation method in which we are able to use this limited resources to fulfill the needs and wants of the people. And how we are going to do that? For that we have to study the economy. We have to do the study of the economy. Let me know, clear till now? Yes or no? Answer quickly. Till now whatever I have explained is clear? Okay, clear to all. So this is our economy and economics, or what we can say, we can explain this with the another different method also. We can say that economics is a theory. Economics is a subject now, so economics is a theory, or you can say economics is a principle. It's a set of principle, it's a set of theory. So what is economics? It is a set of theories. And when we use this set of theory in a practical life, use in practical life, when you use this theory in practical life, that is known as your economy. So you can explain both way. You can explain these two terms both way. If I say that economics is a theory, and when I use this theory in a practical life, that will be known as your what? That will be known as your economy. Okay, and you can explain like that also. Let's say, for example, we know there is a scarce resources and unlimited needs and wants. So there is a theory of maximum utilization of minimum resources. So this is the theory has been given by the economists, that there is a maximum resources, sorry, you have to do the maximum utilization of minimum resources. So when I apply this theory in the practical life, I'm using the resources minimum and optimizing them maximum as much as I can. So this will be known as your economy. So you can study both way, or you can explain both way. Okay, now let's move forward and talk about that there are two types of economies. How many types of economies are there? Two types of economy. So this economics is divided into two types. First is microeconomics, and the second one is your macroeconomics. So there are two types of economics, that is micro and macro. I think all of you have heard about it. So Acha, let me know before that, who is the father of economics? Who is the father of economics? Who is known as the father of economics? A simplest question. Who is the father of economics? Yes, very good. Mr. Adam Smith. Who is the father of economics? Mr. Adam Smith. And the father of macroeconomics is also Mr. Adam Smith. But the father of macroeconomics will be Mr. J.M. Keynes, John Maynard Keynes, who has given us the definition of national income also. Okay. So the father of economics is Mr. Adam Smith. The father of microeconomics is Mr. Adam Smith. But the father of macroeconomics is Mr. John Maynard Keynes. And the economics is divided into two parts with the by the economist, that is Mr. Ragnar Fritsch. Mr. Ragnar Fritsch in the year 1933 divided economics in the two parts, that is micro and macroeconomics. Okay, now what is microeconomics? Microeconomics is a type of economics in which we are studying the individual's needs and wants. When we are studying the need and want of an individual person, that will be known as your microeconomics. And what is macro? Macro will be a study of whole economy, or we can say the study of aggregate. That will be known as your macroeconomics, right? Micro is a study of individual and macro is a study of whole or aggregate. Clear? Acha. So let's understand this with an example. So in this particular class, we have 120 candidates. Okay, we have 120 candidates in this particular class. So out of all these 120 candidates, if I am talking about only the needs and wants of weapon, let's say, okay, I am talking about the needs and wants of a weapon out of 120 candidates of the class. Now, what type of study is it? Is it a micro study or is it a macro study? So, out of 120 students, I am studying only the needs and wants very good. That will be a microeconomics. That will be a microeconomics. Very good. Not the macro, Vijay. Why you are saying macro? If we are talking about the particular situation in which you are studying an individual person, that is micro, na? Out of group of the people, when you are studying individual person, that is your microeconomics. But when you are studying when you are studying the needs and wants of all the 120 candidates, that will be known as macro. Okay, that will be known as macro. Acha, if I talk about this in this particular building, there are 50 classes going on. Out of those 50 classes, I'm just talking about the needs and wants of this class. So is it a microeconomics or is it a macroeconomics? So out of 50 classes, I'm already only studying the this class needs and wants. So this is a microeconomics or macro? Out of 50, we are studying one. That is micro again. But if I study the whole 50 classes needs and want, that will be known as your macroeconomics. So this is the basic difference between micro and macro. After that, microeconomics defines the price theory. It defines the price theory. And the macroeconomics defines the income theory. Income theory. Now let's understand what actually this means. The income theory, the price theory, what is it actually means? Let's understand that. So for example, there are two people. There is Hansa and me. Okay, there is one person Hansa and the another person is Amanjot. Let's say I belong to the BPL family. What is BPL? Below poverty line. Okay, I belong to the below poverty line family and Hansa belong to the upper class family, for example. Now we both have a basic needs, that is food, shelter, clothes, primary education, clean drinking water, sanitation, etc. So we both have a basic needs and we both want to fulfill that basic needs. And to fulfill the basic needs, Hansa is going to the, let's say, particular shop and purchasing the rice, wheat and all at the maximum value of its. Let's say Hansa is purchasing 50 rupees per kg wheat, Hansa is purchasing 80 rupees per kg rice. So can I will be capable of purchasing the 80 or 50 rupees kg product because I belong to the BPL family. Can I will be capable of purchasing the 50 rupees per kg wheat and the 80 rupees per kg rice? Is it possible for me? Let me know. Is it possible for me? Will it be a possible for me? Obviously not. Because if I belong to the BPL family, I will go to the ration shop now. I will go to the fair price shop. From there, I will purchase 2 to 3 rupees kg rice or wheat. So it is obvious that I will be able to purchase the same goods and services at the lesser price, but the another person is purchasing on the different price. So how we can understand that what should be the price and at what price we should provide goods to the individual persons? On the study of individual. When you are studying the individual person, that tells you that what price should be given to the consumer for the social welfare, for the welfare of the society. Okay, that's why government is providing subsidy. What is subsidy? Simple, your financial assistance. So when the government is providing financial assistance, that is known as your subsidy, and that defines as the price theory. And simply macroeconomics, you are studying the whole economy. When you are studying the whole economy, it tells us about what situation? It tells us about the situation that you are talking about the overall economy. So whatever income in the country we are earning, that will be covered under the income theory. That will be covered under the income theory. Clear? So let me know, micro, macro economics is clear to all? Okay, clear to all, right? Now let's move to the another thing, that is, if we talk about economics now, so there are different types of economics. Types of economics. On the basis of trade. On the basis of international trade, we have two types of economy. That is open economy and the another one is closed economy. So let me know what is open economy and what is closed economy. Do you know what is the difference between open and closed? Do you know what is open economy and what is closed economy? Vikrant, we will do so in the from the next class, that is tomorrow. Today we are going to understand the basic structure of the economy only. Okay, so all these things, the definitions and all, we are going to cover from tomorrow. Try to understand the concepts, that what is economy, what are the types, what are the sectors, etc. What are the economic system, etc. So open and closed economy, if you don't know the term, then do write immediately that don't know. Open having no restrictions, yes. Open when foreign investment allowed, okay. And open trade is there, okay. Right. So when open economy is there, it means there is no restrictions. When there is no restrictions on foreign trade, when there is no restriction on foreign trade by Government of India. That will be known as for open economy. What is foreign trade? Simply export and import. When there is no restriction on export and import by government of India, that will be known as your open economy. That will be known as your open economy. But when there is restriction, when there is restrictions on foreign trade, on foreign trade, that will be known as your closed economy. Okay, let's say this is the geographical boundary of a country. This is India. Let's say this is India, this is the geographical boundary of our country, right? If nobody is able to come to our country's geographical boundary, within our country's geographical boundary to sell the goods and services, and not we are capable of going outside to sell our goods and services, that economy will be closed. That you are not allowed to perform the export and import. You are not allowed to perform the selling and purchasing of goods and services from outside your country, or purchasing from outside to inside of your country. So selling to abroad and purchasing from abroad is not allowed. That is your closed economy. But when you start when you start purchasing from abroad and when you start selling to abroad, this economy becomes open economy. So what type of economy is India? Open or closed? What type of economy is India? Open or closed? Correct. That's a open economy. Okay, what is it? It's a open economy. Yes, correct. So India became open at the time of privatization. We have done the India has become the open economy at the time of globalization. What is globalization? Globalization simply means to link Indian economy with world economies. When you are linking Indian economy with world economies, that is known as your globalization. So it means you started doing trade, you are started doing export import from the world economy. That is known as your globalization. Okay, that will be known as your globalization. Clear? So this is what the closed economy and open economy. Apart from that, we have a certain sectors of economy. Sectors of economy. So do let me know how many sectors of economics are there. How many sector of Acha, before that, do let me know, is there any country which is right now the closed economy? Is there any country in the world which is closed economy right now? Yes or no? Any country which is a closed economy right now. Okay, I'm getting the answer. No and North Korea and yes. Three answers you are giving. So first of all, North Korea used to be a closed economy. Now it is a least open economy because it started trading with the China. Okay, so North Korea is not a closed economy. So no country right now is a closed economy in the world. All the countries started doing the trade. So all are the open economy. All are the part of the open economy. Do remember that. Okay. Now, next, sectors of economy. How many sectors are there in the economy? How many sectors are there in the economy? Let me know. Two sectors. Okay. What are the name of the sector? Also mention that. 2, 3 and 4. Service, agriculture, industry. Service, manufacturing, primary. Okay. So there are three sectors of the economy. First we have primary. First we have primary. Then we have secondary. And then we have tertiary. Okay, these are the three types of sectors there. These are the three types of sectors there. Acha, who divided these sectors into parts? Who gave us the three types of sectors in the economy? Who divided these sectors? Let me know who divided these sectors. Why RBI will do so? RBI is the central bank only, na? So, it was done by CSO. So, what is the history behind that? CSO is Central Statistical Office. What is CSO? CSO is a Central Statistical Office. Now, first understand this. So the first estimation in our country, the national income estimation in our country was done by Dadabhai Naoroji, and he was the first Indian, he was the first Indian origin who became the elected member of British Parliament. So he gave us a book this in which he has given us the drain well theory. So he wrote a book that is Planned Economy for India, and in that particular, sorry, Un-British Rules in India. He wrote a book that is Un-British Rules in India. So in that particular book, he defined the drain well theory in the book, and with the help of that drain well theory, he has given us the definition of national income. After that, when we become independent in the year 1947, after that in 1948-49, Government of India has said that we will start calculating national income. So the first official attempt to calculate the national income by the Government of India was done in the year 1948-49. Okay, and the report was given by the National Income Committee in the year 1951. So National Income Committee was formulated in the year 1948-49, which started calculating national income and gave us the data of 1948-49 financial year in the 1951. So in 1951, Government of India has established the CSO, that is Central Statistical Office. And the government said from the 1956, CSO is going to be calculating all the statistical data of our country, whether it is national income, GDP, GNP, NDP, NNP, national income, unemployment, whatever it is, everything, inflation also, everything will be measured by the CSO. This was, I said, that since 1956, CSO was doing this particular work. Okay, so the CSO, for the calculation of the national income, for the calculation of statistical data, CSO has divided the economy into three sectors, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. So do remember who divided the economy? CSO divided the economy into three sectors. Okay, so right now one more information is that right now CSO is not working. Central Statistical Office was merged in the year 2019 with the National Sample Survey Office. So after merging these two entities, we have created the National Statistical Office. Let me write here. So we used to have the CSO and NSSO. Both has been merged, and now the National Statistical Office is there, and this National Statistical Office will be headed by the Secretary of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So NSO is working under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Okay, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Clear? So right now NSO is working, CSO and NSSO is not there. Now let's understand what are these three sectors. So primary is also known as agriculture sector, in which we do the collection of natural resources. Collection of natural resources. That is your primary sector, or we can say agriculture sector. So the primary sector or agriculture sector is the sector in which collection of natural resources will be done. Okay, and for example, I have taken the natural resource wood. I have taken the wood. So that's a natural resource. Now the secondary sector. Secondary is also known as industrial sector. It is also known as industrial sector. Okay, and the industrial sector is doing what? It's processing the natural resources and convert them into finished goods or final goods, you can say. Finished goods or final goods. Okay, so secondary sector is the industrial sector in which processing of natural resources will be done, and that will be converting the natural resource into a final goods or finished goods. For example, I had the wood, so I had made the table or chair. So what is finished goods or final goods? What is finished goods and final goods? Simply the type of goods which can be easily used or consumed. The goods which we can easily use or consume is known as your finished goods or final goods. Okay, next. We have tertiary sector. Now what is tertiary sector? It is also known as service sector. So whenever you are providing services, na, that is known as your service sector. Let's say this table and chair has been broken. So what you are doing, you are repairing this chair. You are providing repairing services, or you are providing replacement services. So you are repairing or you are replacing it. That will be known as your service sector. Or for example, banking sector is service sector, education sector is a service sector, consultancy sector is a service sector. So all these are the service sectors in which there is no physical existence of the goods. Okay, that will be invisible trade. That is your service sector. Clear? So these are the three types of sectors of economy. If I ask you one question, that in the national income of our country, out of these three sectors of economy, which have a maximum contribution, which have a maximum proportion? Let me know. Okay, some are saying agriculture, some are saying service sector, secondary is also there. Okay. So when we talk about the maximum proportion of national income comes from which sector? So right answer is tertiary sector. Then for the secondary sector, and the last will be primary sector. So we have heard a statement, India is an agriculture based economy, Bharat ek krishi pradhan desh hai. But the thing is, the maximum population's income depend on the agriculture sector, but they are not earning a maximum amount. The maximum amount will be earned by the tertiary, then the secondary, and then the primary. Do remember this. Okay. Now, the next thing is there are, Sacha, is it clear to everyone? Let me know. Is it clear to everyone? Is there any doubt in these particular sectors? Yes or no? Otherwise, I will rub this. Clear to all? Yes, very good. Now, next is we have a types of economic system. Types of economic system. So, let me know what are the different types of economic system is there. What are the different types of economic systems are there? Okay, some are saying 2, some are saying 3. Okay, one is saying 4. No, there are three types of economic system. First is capitalistic. Second is socialistic. And the third one is mixed economy. These are the three economic system: capitalistic, socialistic, and mixed. Now understand what are these. So capitalistic is the economy which is run by the private capitalist or private industrialist. So when the private industrialist runs the economy, this is known as your capitalistic economy. This is known as your capitalistic economy. What is socialistic economy? When the government runs the country, that is known as socialistic economy. And what is mixed? When both runs the economy, the government and private, that will be known as your mixed economy, right? These are the three types of economic system. The main motive of capitalistic economy is profit maximization. The main motive of capitalistic economy is profit maximization. Okay. And the second, the main motive of socialistic economy will be your social welfare. Social welfare. Right. And the third one is mixed economy has the main motive of both. Okay, they have main motive of both. First of all, the profit maximization and social welfare. Okay, this is the three types of economic system. Apart from that, if I talk about the capitalistic economy, there will be no intervention. There will be no intervention of government. Like government will have no any kind of intervention in the capitalistic economy. And the socialistic economy is a type of economy where there will be no intervention of private industrialists. right? And the mixed economy is the economy which will be run by both. The private and sector will both run, that is your mixed economy. Clear? Let me know. Acha, which of the following is a type of Indian economy? What type of Indian economic system is there? Mixed, capitalistic or socialistic? India is the example of which type of economic system? Okay. Everyone is going with mixed. So India's mixed economy, this happened at the time of privatization. Now, what is privatization? Simply when the public sector and private sector working both. So when some public sector, uh, in which in certain public sectors, we provide the private companies to work in the country, that is known as privatization. So we have allowed the private companies to work in the certain sectors, that is known as your mixed economy. Clear? Till now, I think everything is clear. So if I talk about capitalistic economy, that is your US. US is a capitalistic, China is a socialistic economy, and India is a mixed economy. Okay. Now, what does it mean? Like if I am saying that capitalistic economy is the economy where the private industrialists are running the country, what does it mean? Is it means that all the laws and everything will be created by the private industrialists? If America, if USA is a capitalistic economy, so can I say that all the rules, regulations will be made by USA in the capitalistic, will be made by private industrialists in the capitalistic economy? The law will be made by the private industrialists. Is it clear? Is it true? Yes or no? This statement is true or not? That in the capitalistic economy, the law will be made by the private industrialist. True or false? Okay, everybody is saying no. Everybody is saying false. Then what does it means? What does it mean that it is run by the private industries, it is run by the government, it is run by the both? So now it actually means that there are three major questions in the economy, that is what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. For whom to produce. So these are the three major questions of the economy. Okay, when the answer or when the rights of these three questions stay with the private industrialist, then this economy will be known as capitalistic. When these three topics, when these three questions will be decided by, the answer of this will be with the private companies, will be with the private industries, that is known as capitalistic. When the right is with the government, then this will be a socialistic economy. And when it is with the both, it will be mixed. It will be mixed. Clear? Let me know, is it clear? Very good, clear to all. So these are the three types of economic system. When, what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. Like what quality we have to provide, what quantity we have to provide, at what price we have to provide, and to whom we are, for whom we are producing the goods and services. When all these three questions answer, it stays with the private industries, that is capitalistic. When it stays with the government, that is socialistic. When it stays with the both government and private, that will be known as mixed economy. Okay, that will be mixed economy. Clear? Chalo. So this is the economics we have discussed. This is the economics we have discussed. So we can read a particular definition here, that is saying that allocation of scarce resources of an economy according to our priority in order to satisfy the needs and wants of individuals as well as societies. So how you are utilizing your resources, how you are allocating your resources so that you will be able to fulfill the individual and society's need by using the scarce resources, by using the scarce resources. This is the economic. This is the economics. Okay. Apart from that, the father of economics is Mr. Adam Smith. As we know that the father of economics is Mr. Adam Smith. Here it is. Sorry, this is the Alfred Marshall. So, the father of economics is Mr. Adam Smith. So, economy is oikonomics. Economics word is taken from a particular language. That is a Greek word. That word is oikonomics. And oikonomics means or it is also known as oikonomia. It means economics. That means household management. So, oikonomics is simply a household management. When you are doing the management of your household, that is oikonomics means. So, when you are managing your national, when you are managing your nation, that will be known as your economics. Okay, so economics literally translate to the task of managing a household. So when you are managing your household, when you are managing your country, that will be known as your economics. Clear? That will be known as your economics. Last slide, which one you are asking about? This one, Vikrant. Okay. So this is what we have discussed. What is economy? What is economics? What are the different types of economy? What are the different types of economic system is there? Everything we have discussed. So let me know whatever we have discussed today is clear to all or not. So this is how we have to cover the economics. So this is the introduction of economics. Okay, we have done the introduction of economics. So this is the overall introduction of economics which we have discussed. In the single slide, we have talked about what are the economics, scarcity, efficiency, micro, macro, test types of economics, everything we have covered, the sectors and all. So this is how you have to go with. Okay, don't try to mug up the concepts of economics, because if you mug up the concepts, you will not be able to answer in the exam. Economics is a subject which you have to understand. If you are not having the understanding, you will not be able to answer the questions. Okay, apart from that, the command and mixed economy we have discussed, business cycle is there, money, banking, unemployment, inflation, interest rate, everything we have to cover. But we will start the sessions, but we will start these topics from the next class, that is going to be tomorrow. So this is your study plan. Let me show you the study plan of yours. So your classes is started from 3rd of October. This is 3rd of October. Today your classes started at 9 to 10 p.m. and that is the introduction of our class. This is the introduction class of ours. And from 4th of October we are going to start for the with the particular topics of the particular module A of ABM. Okay. So this is how we are going to cover the fundamentals, demand supply, elasticity of demand, inflation, money supply, theories of interest, business cycle, Indian economy and the sectors, monetary policy, fiscal policy, GDP, budget and challenges, the GDP concept. So this is how we are going to cover. So I am mainly going to cover the module A of your ABM subject, that covers the economics part. Okay, that covers the economic part. Yeah, the classes will be available in the recorded form. After 3 or 4 hours, the class will be available in the recorded form. So if you are still having a certain doubt, do check the recorded video. Once watch the recorded video of your session. If you still have a doubt, you can ask in the next class. Okay. So like in today's class, if you have any doubt, you are not able to ask today. So when you watch the recorded class, if you have a still doubt, then you can ask in the next class. Okay. So this is how we have to understand the economics. So now let's end the session. If you don't have any doubt in today's session, let's meet same time at the tomorrow from 9 to 10 p.m. Okay. Chali, so let's end the session. Thank you all for joining the session. Take care. Goodbye.